I'm Kristin Green. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I work in my private practice as well as I doing social work for an organization that works with youth and young adults who have had life experience in the foster care system. We talk a little bit about relationship, and when we think about relationship, we think primarily about relationship with others. And what social emotional health means to me as a therapist is, what does the relationship look like with yourself? What are you doing for you? How do you talk to yourself? How do you relate to yourself? Because ultimately, how you connect with yourself and how you relate to yourself is how you do that with others. And if there's not an awareness around how I'm connecting to myself, how I'm relating to myself, what tends to happen is we then deflect those feelings and thoughts onto other people and in our relationships. And that's when we have difficult relationships or people we don't get along with, right? Really, they tend to remind us a little bit of ourselves or something that's really happening in here. So when I think about social emotional health, I really think about how good of a friend are you to yourself? What do you keep your own promises? Do you do what's needed to be done on a regular basis just to kind of keep yourself healthy and happy and balanced? When we look at the way that we connect socially with other people, it really comes back to primarily how we're focused on ourselves and what we're doing for our overall health and well-being on an ongoing basis. When we don't have those needs met, we'll look for them other ways. And we will even reinforce them with negative behaviors. Like for adults, drinking alcohol, or even teens, you can see teens start to look for ways to meet their needs, thrill seeking, impulsivity, things like that, that will give us that shock and let us use some of that adrenaline that we've been making and running through our body. When we don't meet our needs and we have that automatic fight or flight response, our body is now stuck in like a freeze mode, and we need to get it back into continuum. And so, if you think about everything kind of closing up in your body and getting tense and tight, and then having adrenaline and cortisol and things running through your body, people feel sick, they feel nauseous, they get a headache, they get stressed, more stress. I got to go to sleep. I can't do this. This is too much. When we understand what happened in our body for us to feel that way, we can understand, oh, well, what do I need to do instead? And that's where mindfulness comes in. That's where connecting with your conscious awareness and allowing your body to connect the mind, body, spirit, in the sense of, I have my breath. I have my ability to calm. I have my ability to be present and know what my stuff is, because we all have stuff. We've all grown up. This is a positive parenting tip, but they do the flip lid, right? So this is the prefrontal cortex, the part of critical thinking and decision making. And then on the inside of the brain is where the emotions are. And so if you think about this part of the brain doesn't finish developing until 25. And so if you think about how a 2-year-old is, how quick would it be for them to flip their lid? All the logic, critical thinking, decision making is up here. Emotions are fully going with no filter at all. As adults, we can have our full filter if we've had proper development and we've been able to develop these areas, and we can critically think about things. But as soon as we go into fight or flight, our lid flips. All of our logic is now up here. Our emotions are in charge, which is why we do things that later, when our lid is back on, we're like, what happened? Why did I do that? So looking at, how can I meet my own needs? What can I do for myself to support myself, my thinking, my brain development? Where is my brain at in life? What do I need to process? Is there anything stuck in the subconscious that's not allowing me to move on and address, what's going on in my present life? What am I creating? What energy am I putting out into the world? Taking that responsibility, because ultimately there's no one else responsible to regulate our feelings, thoughts, and emotions other than us. That's it. Nobody can do it for us. We have to be the ones that are responsible and in charge of our feelings, thoughts, and emotions, or else we will continue to fail in supporting ourselves. We will continue to feel unfulfilled because there's nobody that can fill that void except for you. Feelings are not facts. They come and go like waves. They just come and go. We don't know when a big one's coming, just like when you're in the ocean, but when a big one comes, we feel it, we move through it. It might catch you off guard, it might knock you on your feet, but our feelings are going to come and go, just like sensations in our body, just like the moments of the day, just like, the wind, everything just keeps on flowing. And so to know that the feeling is temporary, it's not permanent. No feeling is permanent, not even happiness. Right? It's something that kind of flows through your day. You can like, I was angry then, and then I was okay, and then I was like just okay, but then I was like happy after that, and then somebody said something and I laughed really hard. And we can see how our feelings and how our emotions shift and maneuver throughout the day. And so if we can understand that our feelings are temporary, and that what we're feeling in our body is actually like a message. Your body is telling you, hey, we need something. Something's going on and we need you to address it, because really this whole conscious awareness and subconscious is all done by us. We get to be the person in charge of that. We get to say, oh, I just need to check in. It's like when you clock in for work, oh, I'm here. What is it that needs to be done? I feel rage. Wait, why am I here? What's going on? Why am I feeling this? What needs to be done? What do I need? What is my need that's not getting met right now? And then by asking ourselves, what's the need that's not getting met right now, and what can I do about it? Because sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, right? Other than take a breath and breathe. And we're going to do a breathing tip in just a little bit. But most of the time, there is something you can do to meet your need. And when you can't do it immediately, breath will work. Breath will meet the need of calming the central nervous system. Breath will meet the need of bringing things back to that baseline, bringing that lid back on so that you can critically think and process asking those questions. Why am I responding like what? And it's not even a response. Why am I reacting like this? Because the difference between a response and a reaction is a breath. It's just taking a moment. Sometimes is that we check out of the conscious awareness, we check out of the responsibility, and we go into what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take our kids to school and have them there on time. We're supposed to have them look a certain way. We're supposed to look a certain way for work. We're supposed to go to the grocery store, and we're supposed to, right? And we just keep on adding all these things that we're supposed to do. And we go through the day just kind of checking our boxes, like, did that, supposed to do that, supposed to do that, supposed to do that. And the mindset is not, what do I need to do for myself today? What will help me feel whole? What will help me feel centered, balanced, connected with the people that I interact with? What are my intentions for today? Do I intend to have a negative interaction with everybody I meet today? Or do I intend to have a positive impact? Or if I'm met with conflict, what is my intention today? Asking ourselves those reflective questioning to start our day, or to respond to an alert that our body is giving us saying, hey, we need your help. We need your help. You can either breathe and check in and go, oh, well, I'm the boss here. So yeah, I'm glad I'm here. Let me take a breath. Let me connect. Let me ask, why is this happening? What is this bringing up? What do I need? What do I need to do? A way to reflect is to take a breath. A way to engage the conscious awareness is to take a breath. A way to get that lid back on is to take a breath. If we take a deep breath in and we fill our lungs, we can feel the expansion of our chest and rib cage. And then we slowly, if you feel comfortable, closing your eyes, slowly letting the air out of your lungs, very slowly, like as if you were letting air out of a balloon and it was making that really annoying sound, but just very slowly all the way down until you feel that the air leave your belly. And then if you'd like to do that breath again, but this time add the word release, release, release in your mind, just saying it, release, 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 maybe adding in an image of release. I like to do water going down a drain, right? Just release, 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 and letting that go. What that does is it takes things from the subconscious that the subconscious is reading as like crisis now, and it puts it into storage, because what you're telling subconscious is that that's not happening. If it's not happening, it doesn't exist. As we move through and we regulate our bodies and we look at what our unmet needs are, our relationships shift. When we are addressing our unmet needs, our relationships shift because we are taking care of ourselves first. And then we are modeling for the people in our life, our children, our family members, we're modeling what taking care of yourself looks like. And then they have an opportunity to do the same. Because as I said earlier, who taught us our patterns of behavior is our family system. Whoever we grew up around, whatever type of system we grew up in as children, really identifies the ways that we are in behavior and relationship as adults if we haven't done any work. If you've done your work and you've looked at it, then you already know, and you know that it's an ongoing process, that this is an everyday thing. This isn't like, oh, I did my work, check my box, I'm done. This is an everyday I need to regulate myself. Every day I need to check in and see what my unmet needs are. And what we're doing for our children or anybody in our family or anybody that we're in relationship with is we are showing them how to manage a healthy relationship with ourselves, and then how to be in connection with one another in really positive, healthy ways that allow us to thrive and continue to flourish in ways that we never thought possible. When I'm asking someone in my life to do something, I want to make sure that I have a connection with them. I want to make sure that I've deposited enough into our bank of relationship that when I ask them for a withdrawal, that they feel like that's okay, because I've done so much depositing to them. And then if we think about ourselves, if we deposit into our relationship with ourselves, when we make a withdrawal, it's not as, it doesn't feel as depleting as it can when we're not depositing. So the connection, the modeling, what it's like to have a conversation or communication around, this is how I feel. When this happens, I feel this way. When we are arguing, I really feel anxious and worried about what's going to happen next. And I start to feel like I did when I was a little kid, and I didn't know what was going to happen next when my parents were going to argue, when they were arguing, right? But I have to know those things. I have to ask myself first, why am I having this response with this person that I'm having this argument with? What do I need? Coming back to modeling how you would like to be in a relationship. And that comes back to how you are in your relationship with yourself. The breathing technique that we talked about a little bit earlier around the release, 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 and resetting that subconscious, letting things go into storage, there's a second part of it. So I'm going to talk through the first part, and then I'm going to talk through the second part that we're going to do. And it all works with our breath. If we can remember that our breath is always with us, it's from the moment we are born into the moment we end life. Our breath is consistent and it stays with us throughout every single moment. Even when we're sleeping, our breath is still supporting us. So just know that this is a tool that you can use at any time, any place, and that it helps to regulate your body. You can notice when you are feeling dysregulated, the breath kind of gets shorter and more shallow. When you're feeling more regulated, it kind of breathes in, or you can notice even sometimes when you take that deep breath in and go, right? It's like our body is going, finally, a deep breath. And so this breathing technique, I would encourage to be done as a preventative, right? We want to fill our cup. So we want to release anything that the subconscious has taken in, whether we're aware of it or not, and put it into storage. And then we want to bring the conscious awareness into a place that supports our intention and where we're moving in our life. And so what we want to do is we want to take a deep breath in and fill our lungs, feel the expansion of the rib cage and the chest, and then very slowly let the air out, saying in your mind, release, 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 and pairing with image of release. So just breathing in and then slowly release, release, release. When you get to the bottom, I invite you to bring in a deep breath and say the word absorb, absorb, absorb. And maybe you think about an animal, or maybe you think about a color or a light or an energy as you're absorbing it. So you're absorbing that energy, you're absorbing all of this goodness, right? Breathing in and recharging your system. And if you run through that, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds. 10 to 15 seconds to reset your brain. And maybe you want to do it twice. Maybe you want to do it 3 times and do it for a full minute. Maybe you want to incorporate that throughout your day. When you're going to wash your hands after the restroom, do a release and absorb. When you're, you get in the car to drive, if you have, anxiety or stress around driving, or even if you don't, right? Let's just be conscious and aware when we're driving. Take a deep breath in and then release, 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 absorb, 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 and allowing your body and your mind to be connected and regulated, allowing you to have more of that communication pathway of what's going on with me right now. How do I feel? Where am I functioning? At a high or at a low, or just right in the middle? So using that breath technique, I think, is one of the most valuable tools that you can use anywhere in life to help regulate your feelings, your thoughts, emotions, and engage your mind in a way that brings the conscious and the subconscious together.